I'm Belle Bear. This is Sacred Mechanics.
Today we're going to open a door together, and it's about thought forms and egregores and everyday magic and how it shapes your life. There's 7 truths that explain why your thoughts have weight, why groups feel like living beings, and why magic is less woo than you think, and more like a natural law we've forgotten how to talk about. By the end of this episode, you'll understand what thought forms really are and how egregores are born, and why you're already participating in magic, whether you mean to or not. Let's begin. Okay, so I think I've broken this down into 7 secrets that are easy to digest and hopefully a launch pad for more discussion later on. Here is secret number 1. Thought is not private, it is generative. We often treat our thoughts like harmless background noise, but in every mystical lineage, Hermeticism, Theosophy, Tibetan Buddhism, and even Jungian psychology, thought is seen as a creative force. A thought has a tone, a color, and a shape. Emotion gives it weight, and repetition gives it momentum. Think of how the atmosphere in a room changes after an argument. Nobody needs to tell you. The air or the atmosphere tells you, your spidey senses, you just know. That is the residue of thought forms. We feel them, we're wired for it. If we just pay attention, they're everywhere. Secret 2. A thought form is an energetic imprint. A thought form is simply a temporary energetic structure created when thought and emotion bond. So thought becomes form. You've heard me say this a few times before, where thoughts are things. If you've ever thought lovingly of someone and then they texted you moments later, that is a thought form activating the thread between you. We often call this thread a cord in energy healing, and sometimes in pagan or traditions or witchcraft. These are cords that sometimes need cutting, and that's a whole other thing. But it's effectively a thought form where this thought is a thing that's connecting 2 beings, 2 souls. I personally believe that you can have energetic cords linked to objects and places as well, because why not? It's all made of the same energy. Okay, secret number 3. When thought forms braid together, an egregore is born. One person's thoughts create a ripple, and many people's thoughts create a tide. When a group focuses on the same idea with emotion, ritual, repetition, identity, the individual thought forms merge into a larger field. It creates its own momentum, and I'd like to use the word here of pendulum. It gives you a visual of how it just gets its own force or weight behind it, and it just swings under its own weight or rhythm. So this larger, semi-autonomous energetic being is called an egregore, and its roots go back to ancient Greek watches, medieval grimoires, Rosicrucian and Golden Dawn magic, and 19th and 20th century occultism. And I guess you'll find discussion or information about this if we were to look at something like what we'd call in modern day the collective psychic field, where you've heard of them, you've met these egregores, you've been in them perhaps, or you absolutely have been. The spirit of a nation, the energy of a church or a coven, the loyalty of a sports team or to a sports team, or the sports team itself even, the hysteria of a fandom, the mythology around money. We could even look at modern brands and marketing, feverishly building thought forms through images, words, and actions, with the ultimate outcome being an egregore that lasts long after the stores close at 5 p.m. And with my 3.5 decades of history professionally as a designer and a creative director, I stand guilty here of basically building and trying to create egregores for paying clients. Egregores behave like living systems because collectively we make them so. Even when people come and go from a community, the egregore is strong enough to remain, and the egregore sort of hovers almost, and it's there for the next cohort. So someone might come in fresh to a group, but they're soon sort of enveloped almost in this collective spirit or feeling with this egregore, and they subconsciously, I suppose sometimes consciously, just buy into that movement, and then it's part of them, or they are part of it. Secret number 4, egregores influence behavior more than we realize. This is interesting, and I'm sure you've got your own personal examples of this when you reflect upon it, but here's some ideas I've made note of. There's that Disney magic. If you've ever been to Disneyland, there's that unmistakable feeling in the park, isn't there? There's an egregore fed by generations of families, rituals, stories, and expectation within the walls, and even absolutely within the brand. So that is absolutely the Disney egregore. I wonder if there's egregores within egregores too, but let's not go off track. Let's move to the next example. Cathedrals, churches, walking into an old cathedral and feeling that dense hush where you're stepping into centuries of prayer layered upon prayer, elation, pain, healing, forgiveness, sorrow, love, compassion. It's all there. You could almost cut through that energy if you're particularly sensitive. Then we've got online fandoms. Millions focusing on Taylor Swift creates a living psychic field of connection, or something much closer to home, family identity. We're battlers, or we're winners, or we don't cry, we never give up. That's a personal egregore inherited without question, passed down through who knows how many generations and landing in our laps. Another one that's interesting in a larger independent topic is the egregore or variety of egregores around money, depending where you're standing. But money has power because we believe in it. Its entire force is collective thought. It's hard to imagine because it's such a massive subject, but if money had no meaning at all, it was just like a handful of pumpkin seeds, then what would the world be like if that egregore just wasn't there? So seeing these examples makes the invisible world much easier to track once you know what to look for. Secret number 5. The danger isn't magic, it's unconscious magic. The problem isn't that we create thought forms, it's that we create them unintentionally. Every spiraling fear, every imaginary argument, every self-criticism becomes a sticky, dark little entity in your energy field, in your aura, in your body, in yourself. They cluster, they distort your mood, they replay old stories, and it's hard to find the off switch sometimes. Or if you feel like you're pulling a thread on a thought or idea, sometimes it's hard to find the beginning of it. Why do you have that thought or feeling? Where has this come from? We can do a lot of shadow work and other things like that to unearth these things and heal from these negative tendencies in our mind. And what we do know too is that these spiraling thoughts reinforce each other, sort of reinforcing this negative egregore that we inhabit. Many people living amongst the psychic leftovers of their own unexamined thoughts. The work moving forward is to notice them, identify them, and of course, eradicate them. We can do this through so many ways, on so many levels. We may need to do it all the time. New things come up, of course, all the time as we mature or age or grow and learn new relationships. There's always going to be something that's good to notice them and understand them with ease as you walk further down your spiritual path. Secret 6. Magic is simply conscious participation. Magic in the truest sense isn't theatrics. It's the disciplined use of attention, imagination, and emotion. It's choosing what to feed, choosing what to starve, choosing what to collapse, choosing what to invite, choosing what to feel. Magic is the art of conscious thought. It's not supernatural, simply the mechanics of consciousness and intentionally living, intentionally thinking and feeling. You do have control. Once you understand this, your whole inner landscape becomes editable. This, in short term, we would call manifesting or manifestation as well, where we harness our thoughts and feelings, synchronize them, focus on how we want to experience life, and sit in that reality before the physical appears. So what we're doing is actually turning the tide on our egregore. Our thought forms become physical, and that is then reflected in our exterior world, in our life. Which leads me to secret number 7. You can rewrite the egregores you live within. This is the secret that matters most. You have your own egregore, the energetic field made of your memories, habits, fears, patterns, and desires. You can change it, refine it, rebuild it. You can collapse inherited family egregores, withdraw energy from collective ones that drain you, build new ones that support your growth, dissolve thought forms that keep you stuck, and create new ones that lead you forward. Follow your dreams and your desires. Make those your dominant egregore. Try on joy or living in the moment, peace, a sense of love, appreciation, or gratitude. Then you're not at the mercy of the unseen world. You're co-creating it moment by moment. And I think it's really important that you understand, regardless of your mindset, you're still creating. You can't not create. So you may as well create things as you please, and in a way that makes you feel whole and complete. Even if that's really hard to articulate, you've got to be silent or still enough, even momentarily, to just feel where your tide is pulling you. Like when you're making a decision, like, what do I want to lean into more than not? What do I want to lean into more than not is a beautiful way to live and learn to be more present in the moment as well, and to make the most of your time here on Earth School. These 7 secrets of the unseen world are meant to remind you that you're powerful, far more powerful than you've ever been taught. Your thoughts are not passive. Your emotions are not meaningless. Your imagination is not childish. They are tools. They are magical instruments. They are sacred mechanics. If this episode resonated with you, you can find more episodes, guided meditations, articles, and community conversations on Substack or on my website, sacredmechanics.com. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, or subscribe, or all 3. I'd be stoked. Your interaction matters a lot to me. This is a new podcast. I'm working on my own with it. It's an absolute passion project, and it's just so great when I hear back from you guys or just get a little like or a subscribe or a follow. It's thrilling. I think it'll always be thrilling for me. So thank you. And as always, thank you for walking this path with me. I'm so happy we connected. Thanks for listening. I'm Belle Bear, and this is Sacred Mechanics.